My name is Brian, and the plant I'm eating is Miraa, otherwise known as KHAT, KHAT, and it is 100% legal in Kenya, so I'm not breaking any laws. But in America and in Europe and Australia, it is, I believe, a Schedule 1 drug. And you'll have to fact check me on that, but I believe it is as illegal as a drug like cocaine. But here it is allowed, and I do it because it gives me energy. It's a natural stimulant. I use it to help when I'm doing work on my laptop, or if I have something to do. A lot of other people use it to party. They start chewing it at night, and it keeps them awake. It keeps them focused. It keeps them energetic. It gives you a little bit of a euphoric kind of feeling. But I certainly prefer it during the day so I can get stuff done. And then after you spit it out, you just chew on it. You chew on the bark. So you have a stick like this, and the leaves are good. And then you chew the skin, the bark. So you take that, and that bark is what you want.
Okay.
So this is what you chew.
Yep.
And once you're done getting the bark off, you throw away the inside part. After you have to chew it for maybe about an hour for it to start taking effect. And then once you stop chewing it, it loses its effect after a few hours. One of the things that it does do is makes you very awake and not tired. So if you don't spit it out early enough, it's very hard to go to sleep. So I like to do it during the day. It helps me get work done, and then by late afternoon, evening, I spit it out, and then by nighttime, I'm ready to go to sleep instead of chewing it through the night and partying.
So do you chew it before food or after meal?
I've heard people recommend, or some people say that if they chew it on an empty stomach, it upsets their stomach. I've never had a problem. So I'll chew it on an empty stomach. I'll chew it after a meal. For me, it doesn't matter. Most importantly is water, because it does tend to dehydrate you a little bit. As you can see, I'm mixing it with peanuts. So if you just chew the plant by itself, it becomes you just chew it and you swallow the juices. So you're not swallowing the actual plant, but you're swallowing the juices. There's nothing you're spitting out like chewing tobacco. It's not like chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
But if you chew the plant by itself, then it becomes too dry in your mouth. So there's two main ways that you can make the plant a bit more moist in your mouth, and that's either by mixing it with peanuts. Too many peanuts makes it too liquidy, and you start to swallow it. Not enough peanuts makes it too dry, so you just learn over time to chew it with peanuts. Or other people use chewing gum, but I definitely prefer peanuts. I've also in other villages where there were no peanuts, I've with Ethiopians who I've chewed Miraa with, I've used coffee beans, roasted coffee beans before they're ground. That was awesome. And I've even had to use mahindi choma, grilled maize, basically grilled corn.
There's also tropicals. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, but I like to keep it as natural and healthy as possible. So I'd much rather do something like peanuts or coffee beans or roasted corn instead of candies or bubble gum or something like that. It's definitely a drug, but I don't think it's addictive. I don't see very many negative side effects at all, if any.
But here in Kenya, they say men should not eat miraa because of, talk about that.
Some people say that it reduces your sperm count.
Does it?
Or it could lead to erectile dysfunction. I mean, I've chewed Miraa for a long time, and we got pregnant on our first try. So, in my experience, it doesn't do either of those two things. But I think, like everything else, in moderation. I'm sure that if I chewed Miraa every single day, all day, every day, then it would have some negative side effects, just like anything else.
Yeah,
but in moderation, I don't think that it has any substantial negative side effects, at least compared to other drugs like pills. For example, to me, this is almost like a natural version of ADHD medication like Ritalin or Adderall.
Mm-hmm.
And those obviously I think have a lot worse side effects than a natural plant does. Even alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is much more destructive to your body than Miraa. I am certainly not a scientist,
Mm-hmm.
so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But in my own personal experience, I've never had bad side effects of using this plant. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make you drunk. It just kind of wakes you up and makes you focused and makes you uh, ready to get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make you drunk. It doesn't make you high. It doesn't make you um, not sober in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that alcohol or maybe weed or prescription pills does, or something like OxyContin, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that it is in my life beneficial.
It's beneficial.
Yeah.
So how much, like, what's the budget of like that cavado?
Well, this was 600 shillings.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually chew this over 2 days. This morning I started a bit early because we have a long day with you.
Mm-hmm.
But usually I would chew this in 2 days. You can get this. It comes from Miraa, so it comes to Narok every day. You can get it for 600. You can get it for 800. You can get it for 1,200 shillings, which is about $10. It depends on the quality you want, the type of you want. There's different types. There's alele. There's kangeta. Different lengths. There's a whole world of Miraa. But we also have it in our organic farm.
Oh, so
So,
you planted it.
Yeah,
in your
so
farm.
we've also planted peanuts in our farm. So other times I've bought these peanuts and I've bought this Miraa, but other times I can just go into our farm and harvest the peanuts and harvest the Miraa and get it totally for free.
Mm-hmm. And for the beginner who wants to start chewing Miraa, talk to him or her what to expect.
Yeah, I've
First day.
because we've hosted guests from 52 countries, and even before Bomonoma started,
52 countries?
52 countries.
Oh, wow.
And before Bomonoma started, I hosted hundreds of volunteers through my own organization.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent time with many people who are chewing Miraa for the first time.
Oh,
And it's not intense. It's not something that, it obviously works.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously an effect, but it's a gradual effect. And then once you stop chewing it, a gradual come down. It's not overwhelming. It's not scary. You can't have a bad trip. Yeah, it's very mellow. It certainly has an effect, but it's quite mellow, and you can control it just by how much you chew. If you want to take a break, you just spit it out.
Yep.
And go eat some food, drink some water, and come back and keep chewing. It's very, very up to you.
So
I've it's not me who's introduced this to our guests. They see me chewing it, or they've seen it somewhere and they say, "Oh, can we try it?" And then we'll do it together. But there's never been anyone who's had a bad experience with it. Some people don't like it. They think it's too much work, having to chew it. Some people think that it doesn't taste good, or they don't enjoy the experience because they don't like the taste of the plant in their mouth. Yeah, that's okay. But no one has ever been negatively affected by the feeling it gives you, or the high that it gives you, that everyone likes.
does it expire?
Oh yeah, it definitely expires.
Tell us how it is.
Yeah, you want it as fresh as possible. So typically they'll cut this in Meru, where it comes from in Kenya, at night, and ship it all throughout Kenya. And it's a huge export drug. I think it's one of Kenya's top export drugs, along with coffee and some other stuff. But this goes to the Middle East. It goes to Somalia. I know that in the Middle East, again, they call it KHAT, not Miraa, same thing. So almost everyone chews it. And Kenya grows it really, really nice Miraa. Anyway, it gets cut at night and gets to our closest city in the morning or midday. And that's the Miraa that you want. It's the freshest. It's the juiciest. It's the best.
Sure.
It'll stay good for a day or two. If you have a refrigerator and you maybe put like a wet napkin or a wet towel over it and put it in the refrigerator, then it'll stay good for a while. But if you just keep it out like this, the first day it's the best. Second day it's still good, but it's a bit dried out. By the third day, it's kind of like you don't want it anymore. It starts to get a little bit a little bit gross. So within the first few days is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we take a photo with the Miraa, like to see the clear picture of Miraa for those?
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of not so good, Miraa. I can show you what it looks like in the farm.
Oh, can we go and see?
Yeah.
How it's grown?
Yeah. So let's go take a little trip into the farm, and I can show you what this looks like when it's still on the tree.
Okay.
So this is what Miraa looks like. As you can see, I have a twig, but I usually do this with shears or the correct scissors and not hurt the plant or anything like that. But it's the same thing. So just like this one, I can.
So that is how it's harvested, and then chewing.
And
Direct.
you can see the big ones here, the tops. You don't want to cut these because this is as it'll become a tree.
Yep.
But something like this, you would cut. This you would cut. You would trim what's on the sides, and you want this nice dark red kind of purple color. That's when you know it's good.
Okay. How long? Like how long? How old is this Miraa?
Well, it's tough to say because, as you can see, now in between the Miraa, there's coffee. There's coffee. There's Miraa. Some of these things, there's a neem tree. Some of these things would grow much better if it rained more. We're in a semi-arid area, and we go months without rain. So it's obviously alive. It's obviously has taken root and has survived the drought. But the reason that it's only this high instead of maybe higher is because of the lack of rain that we get here.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't say how long it'll take or anything like that. It's more based on rain than it is about time. This is all Miraa, all three here.
Okay. Okay.
So obviously Indo fresh, lakini juu ya kiangazi saa zingine kama haijanyesha sana inakaa ngumu kidogo. Ikinyesha inakaa soft.
Na ile soft ndio mzuri njoo.
Ndio soft ndio mzuri. Lakini hata kama ni mgumu bado iko na steam, bado iko na hiyo effect yenye mtu anatamani akichana Miraa.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I went back to Swahili.
It's okay.
Even if it's a bit drier because of the drought, then it still has the same effect that more moist or.
So if people want to find more of your story, where can they?
Miraa, oh my God.
Bomanoma.com is the online home of our ecolodge, but also has information about us and links to our respective nonprofit organizations. It has a story about how we started. It has contact information. Basically, everything leads you back to www.bomanoma.com, BOMANOMA, which I'm sure will be linked in the video description below.
Yep.